course, let's go ahead and hop into our next game, and this is going to be a good one, of course. UNLV, another university playing it out tonight, just like the LSU boys, and they're playing against Ryze, which I'm curious about both sides because I haven't seen too much of Ryze overall, playing at least competitively, or at least playing in general, so this is going to be an opportunity to see them. Unfortunately, though, if you are a UNLV fan, they are currently both down, and Ryze has free reign to the eliminations on the map.
Yeah, it's very scary to look at, and one thing that you can also take your eyes toward as well is the fact that there is 38 eliminations still available on the map. The ability for the Ryze Nation squad to continue on with their lead would be very scary if you are a fan of UNLV, and I believe for right now the score officially is 5 eliminations to 1. So with that in mind, we'll see exactly how the boys from UNLV can maybe try to put these strategies together, try to get a little bit of that momentum coming in this map number 2, but it looks like Ryze players on our screens desperately trying to do a little bit of that damage. Pump shot looks very, very solid right here for Scrupools. Narrowly puts up those barriers, and with a full squad on top of him, takes down one and immediately focuses attention toward the other. Support shots coming through the backside. The shotty as well, taking down those structures with that constant high ground advantage. It allows for these pro players to have such crucial moments such as that, as that's going to be the loot. That's going to be an elimination and a better chance at Ryze Nation making it toward the next round.
Definitely solid shots, obviously. That flick shot, getting that pump kill was the way to go. Another player still bottom blue as well, and I believe there's a person pushing on the right side, so a little bit of a push from this enemy squad, and we'll see how they're going to come through. His teammate in an engagement just below. Barrel. It definitely did. Yeah. Of course, that double barrel, you got to hit your shots. You don't hit your shots, you're going to be in an distinct disadvantage. He's going to go ahead and drop down.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Just like the elevator real quick and decides to shove his opponent, but just like that. Oh, my gosh. That trusty SMG. Yeah. People sleep on that, Taylor. I feel like that SMG in combination with a shotty in combination with the assault rifle, it's so, so important because a lot of the time when you're doing those little bits of damage to your opponent, it can make them nervous. It can make them start to miss their shots and really just kind of cause chaos.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, I would dare to say he actually got a little bit lucky there. And don't do it to him. Unfortunately, I don't think he had any spike traps.
Just would have put.
He wanted to put the ice blocks down there, which wouldn't have worked in that situation. Obviously, it would have affected him, but his teammate too. So we would have saw a little ice skating fight going down. Which, by the way, those are such a great addition. I want to say, coming in,
I want to see him last. Honestly,
I definitely do too, because the usability of them is endless. Not only can you build your opponents up as they go to push. You just put one down, they go sliding off the builds into the oblivion, and then, of course, get eliminated. Yeah. But they're great for mobility as well when it comes to running away from the storm itself. Right. So I'm definitely a fan of them. But where are we going? Portal Rift in hand. We're obviously going to be traveling somewhere.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think what they're waiting for is the storm to maybe make its progression.
Plan it out.
Yeah, maybe try to get a little bit of an idea. So it looks like Salty Springs, they can kind of play a little bit of a gatekeeper position here, but I'd imagine they probably have the eliminations as the foreground in their mind for the time. So, like I said, man, having that rift to go in your back pocket is just so, so important. It's like I said, all you have to do, if you're in a certain situation, you quickly put builds around you if you're in an awkward spot, even if you're low on HP, just to survive for a little bit longer. You put yourself in a build, you hide yourself behind a tree, you shake that little Tesla ball, and then you're off in the skies. It's great. It's a great
Tesla ball. Elon Musk. I didn't know he was involved in the planning of Epic and Fortnite, but it seems though
Albert Einstein is what they
call him. He really is, though. He really is incredibly smart. But
yes, I'd like a Tesla. That'd be great.
Wouldn't we all? Shadowstone.
I just want to be able to play Fortnite while I drive down the street. Well, why a robot drives.
I'm about to say, you're very talented if you be playing
Don't do
Fortnite
that, by the way.
Please don't.
Do not listen to Landon. That's just a future idea that he'd like to see be the case. But look at these, man. Like you see the Shadowstones just get used in that way. They're so good for mobility, not just the ability to have that vision, but just peppering shots on the unfortunate opponents below them. Is this a separate fight?
It looks like he's 3P'ing at this point. No, I definitely think he's 3P'ing.
Yeah.
They might have been distracted from his teammate, but nonetheless, the result's going to be the same. He's going to go ahead and get tagged up a little bit, but still picking him off. Great builds, always maintaining that high ground. So incredibly important, obviously, whenever it comes to these builds. High ground will win the game, and now we're going to get a chance to see a little bit of a build-off, but notice the placement of the pyramid just above, got the roof off, and his opponent now is going to be trapped down below, and he's going to have to spam at least the builds. And great edit to come in and get the knock. Sheesh. That's what you need if you're going to be a talented player. Obviously, they're on Ryze for a reason.
Wow, man, that was impressive. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Scrupools is just showing off at this moment. Player tries to go toward the bottom of the build to destroy the structure. However, that's not going to end out very well for him. A pump shot to the face will probably be his final resting place, but it looks like a few players coming through from a few of these, what did you used to call these? The dilapidated houses during Friday Fortnite. That was the term that you used.
I know you like that word a little bit.
I do.
Dilapidated houses, little broken down houses.
So good.
I believe this would be the second squad they've engaged in this area. The build, the edits, the builds.
Just the awareness.
He's not missing a beat. And you know, the fluidity of his edits and his builds is really telling the story of how this match is going. He's sitting in a total of 7 eliminations. His partner, of course, sitting probably at just about equal. 3 med kits, half pots, Porter Rift, looking incredibly strong. Still 19 eliminations, or a total of 17 for them to get at this point.
Yeah.
And they look like they're not going to be slowing down. So, yeah, UNLV, obviously, I don't know. I'm assuming this is game number 2. No, excuse me, game number 1.
Yeah.
But going into game number 2, obviously, they're going to be behind a massive amount.
Yeah, this is the point for UNLV as we actually see another fight going down quickly. That'll have to hold on for a moment. Players from all different angles. I think there is someone from their north as well. I'm not sure if Scrupools managed to realize that or not, but regardless of that, though, the fights, the builds are going through, and we'll see how Ryze Nation can continue on their dominant performance up to this point. Oh, my gosh, just threads the needle in that case. The pump shot, he just right through the builds. Fantastic stuff as he's now up to 8. And it looks like for Ryze Nation, this could continue on for these boys with, well, I think one more player up, or they might have just killed everybody. I'm not exactly sure.
I believe there's one more up in that 1-by-1 just above. He kind of built himself in. And, of course, Scrupools is convinced he's going to be down low, and he might be there. Of course, they're going to be tag teaming, and there it is. Gets one shot, and finally the elimination.
His head just popped through the bricks. Just, hey, buddy, just going to go ahead and spray.
Really unfortunate time,
the compact, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 9 eliminations for him. His partner looking just as good. They're still building as if somebody's up ahead, and there might in fact be.
Look at this artwork.
Well, I believe it's been four or 3 teams that's pushed them at this point, and another team just ahead.
Wow.
What is so special about this hot zone? I don't know, but all I know it's a very welcome.
Oh my gosh, there's another team just off to the left here as well. A Civil War going down, and right now Ryze Nation are in prime advantage when it comes down to things, just peppering players and just destroying their shields and their lives, for that matter. But as the rush comes forward, it looks like, I believe, a snipe potentially, or at least some long-range weapons coming through from his teammate. And it looks like Scrupools showing off the builds and just decides to literally build over a man he has below him. And in that time, decides to shoot the players who are just in front of him. That is the definition of like an older brother move. You just kind of slam him on the ground and you just kind of focus your attention towards something else.
You know, they're getting incredibly lucky with the timing, because every team fight that they get into, other than I think the last one that they got into just before this one, has been 3Ps. So they're coming in, they're managing, those players are distracted, they're fighting off on the other teams. They're kind of coming in and putting their 2 cents into the situation and picking up the eliminations that the other team's not getting.
Ooh.
And, of course, getting tagged up, he's got to be a little bit careful. Notice he doesn't have any minis trapped inside.
Nice
Slurp
shot.
Juice down below, doesn't decide to take it. Very bold move, only sitting at 31 total health. Of course, his teammate's going to come in and come in clutch, as now they look like they're coming in for the victory route. You hear the screaming. They're pumped up. They're feeling good.
They have every right to feel that
Absolutely.
way as well.
They are performing incredibly well. 11 eliminations now for Scrupools, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. This is a team to reckon with.
Yeah, man. They are absolutely going off at this time. And like I said, that was great composure. Being in that little 1-by-1, he kind of realizes, he kind of focuses and like drowns out everything that's coming at him.
Oh my gosh.
The shots, whatever it may be. And then literally just waits for that one moment to rock the pump shot and then just takes him down. Fantastic stuff coming in from Scrupools. Of course, that's only one of his 11 up to this point. And speaking of numbers, 23-1. If you're a fan of UNLV, if you're a fan of Edward and Alex, boy, could they use your support at this moment. The Rebels absolutely need to bring something into this game number 2, because, Taylor, I'm sure they're looking at this right now and saying, we have a mountain in front of us.
I'm just a commentator, and I'm looking at it and saying, how are they going to come up with this? I don't know. We're going to have an engagement here on the floating island. Man, they are really not skipping a beat. They have got so incredibly lucky with finding all of the eliminations. And look at how distracted these players are getting. And that just comes to show the positioning of both of the Ryze players, one on one end, one on the other. And these teams are kind of having to dictate, which one do I want to attack first? Well, you start attacking the other, and the other one's ready to attack you. Of course, this player down below trying to maybe pop some minis. But I got to say, still plenty of mats in the hands of Scrupools. Ryze Scrupools is his name, and you guys got to be paying attention to him in the future because he is playing like a man on fire. Call Denzel Washington. That is, this guy should have been, really had that role, I would have to say. But
he's playing the role of a killer.
I believe they cleared it all out already. No, they haven't.
I think that this one player managed to escape, and he's just going to kind of chill with as being Mary Poppins for this time. Speaking of roles, he's going to go ahead and rock that one. But shooting at Kevin. Oh! Wait, did he shoot?
He did. Yes.
Oh, okay. So he shoots the cube to strike the lightning, and it does 30 damage to the player that's flying around. That is such a smart heads-up play. I actually didn't even know that was a strategy that you could do, but that's a very smart play coming in, and something that I should continue to expect from players like Scrupools.
Yeah, very smart heads-up play. Obviously, you remember Kevin whenever he was around. Unfortunately, rip Kevin. He's still here, just in another form.
Still around.
But that was one of the strategies. And then one of the trolls, too, I think. I know many times I was playing with my friends, and I'd be running past Kevin, and they would just start blasting Kevin.
Right.
And before I know it, I'm just being blown away off a mountain, and I'm dead.
Right.
So with that, hey, obviously still plays an important strategy, as we're seeing Scrupools, but only 2 poor souls remain. And
poor souls is right.
I say that, and I know you agree with me, and everybody else does as well. Because if Scrupools and his teammate, from if they lose this, I'm going to be dumbfounded. Oh, I believe they just passed each other, actually.
I think that was his teammate. I think he and Ritual just kind of did a casual high five.
I like this. Look at this. Just taking a nice little float around. He's trying to see, the usability of Kevin now is great.
Oh, yeah. He's still providing entertainment.
He is.
That's for sure. But I thought I might have saw someone toward Ice Cream Mountain, but regardless of that, that's just Landon's somewhat vision trying to come through. But they could be behind any of these trees. They could still be hiding that little edge of that cornfield, maybe using those new Scarecrow skins to rock the new emote and just kind of chill there.
The T-pose.
Yeah. I've been seeing actually a few YouTubers put out some videos. Shout out to Musel. Great YouTuber if you guys don't watch him. He was actually doing that exact pose and was having a few people get distracted and actually tried to hit him for resource. They didn't realize he was an actual player. So you never know.
Yeah, I saw actually Cypher too. I know
Cypher as well. Yeah.
Cypher was in Fatal and just went over there and used the T-pose as one of the Scarecrows because that's one of the new skins. And yeah, the players they don't know. And what was more impressive in that situation, Cypher actually hit a no-scope hunting rifle shot and then followed up. But final victim just up ahead, and look at that, just immediately builds over him. His enemy player now has to kind of redirect, and obviously what are you going to do in that situation?
Nothing.
Not a lot.
You're going to do nothing.
Just going to rain down shots from down below. And there it is. That's one elimination. In fact, actually, so it wasn't even a team that's left. It was 2 individual players. So we still have one more remaining.
If I was that individual player, I'd be like, okay, I got to figure out how to contact this guy. Maybe do some emotes in game to make him realize that, hey, we are on the same team. Because that's the only way that we even have a sliver of a chance to take down both Ritual and Scrupools in this situation. But now it is, where's the final player? Is he hiding in the tree, Scrupools? No, not that one. But there's still plenty to go after, as he's got plenty of bullets as well to fire through. We've got 986 left because this guy, I would imagine, is doing his very best to try and hide out for as long as he can.
Yeah.
Hide-and-seek champion.
Pretty much. Watching a game of prop hunt. Where is he? He's doing a T-pose down below. See if he's going to be in the
hiding in the dog. Oh, there he is. Oh,
wow.
He's going to try to trap him. He wants the highlight. He wants the Twitter clip. Oh, the plunger just races past his face.
Yep, rip.
Oh,
it's
no.
over.
Oh,
he eliminated himself? Yeah, he did actually. That's unfortunate.
So he doesn't get the kill.
He doesn't get the elimination. It doesn't really matter at this point, obviously,
UNLV
with the lead that they have.
is cheering.
But, yeah, hey, he went down on his own terms.
He did.
He went down on his own. Now, if this was a close game, I'd be like, it was a huge moment. But obviously, I think going in, UNLV only sitting at 1 elimination and 20-plus for the boys of Ryze.
It was like 25.
Yeah, 26 to 1, 25 elimination game. Now, we've seen – now, let's go back to one of the early weeks of Friday Fortnite. We saw Ninja. They were down considerable amount. He lands tilted, gets the LMG, picks up how many eliminations? It was like –
it's like around like 9 or 10.
Yeah. No, it was more than that.
Well, I meant like in Tilted Tower specifically.
Oh, in Tilted Tower specifically, but I think in total, 17, 18?
I think it was a 19 elimination deficit.
So, I mean,
tied the game, brought it to a game 3. No one remembers they actually lost that game. But it doesn't matter.
They did, actually.
Everyone only remembers the fact that he made one of the biggest clutch in Fortnite history. So that's all that we remember. But hey, things like this have happened in the past. I think for UNLV at this time, if
Yep.
you're a fan of those boys or even go to the college as well, or maybe around the Las Vegas area, you're hoping that Ryze Nation falls. Like
Yeah.
you have to, like in order for your plan to work, which has to be aggressive, you have to hope that Ryze Nation at least loses a player off the start. Because if not, as long as they just stay alive, they go Wailing Woods, they go Fatal Fields and hide in the cornfield for half the game, they're going to close out this
Hide
game.
in the cornfield.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine Ryze just chilling in the cornfield. Children of the corn.
It'd be so
making a comeback.
frustrating if you're the other team as well. You're like, wow, these guys are literally just hanging out in a cornfield and just
You'd pick up a lot of eliminations, actually,
You
believe it
would.
or not.
You
The
would.
cornfields are a hot area. But, I mean, look at the bus path, straight over Tilted. And, you know, when you talk about at least hot drops, look like they might be threatening to go over towards Valhalla, maybe even Greasy. Valhalla would be a phenomenal drop. Pick up the eliminations there and use a rift to kind of get away. But the drop's going to be too low. They're going to be heading over towards Greasy. Whereas another one might be heading over towards Tilted, which would be the smart area to go to. But no, he himself, so they're going to stick together, and one's going to go corrupted area, the other one is going to be going over towards, nope, both going to be going Greasy. This is an interesting drop.
I know, it was odd because it was like, okay, surely they're not
They're sticking together.
this,
I
but
mean,
they do, yeah.
Well, walk me through the strategy, though. Do you agree with that? I mean, they stick together. They're down that many eliminations. I don't think there's a lot they can do at this point.
Yeah. Like Greasy Grove is not a intense enough POI to the point where you can both go here and justify it. Like you can go toward Tilted Towers. I would even give them a pass on Retail Row, but not Greasy Grove. Granted, it was popular in our series prior to this, but unless there's a challenge that says you walk in here and you're going to get 1,000 XP, you're not going to have too many people in Greasy Grove. So, yeah, I'd say for this strategy, they're playing passive off the start, which, you know, hey, maybe they're in it for the long game, but granted, how long can this game last? It's going to be a huge testament for the time, but it looks like we're going to go ahead and swap over here toward one of the UNLV players, as it looks like the trusty Shoddy out, doing a little bit of that damage, but somehow
hit those.
Yeah, misses one. Actually just decides to go ahead and get that double barrel out of his inventory. He doesn't even want it anymore, Taylor. It's not worth it. Not worth his time.
Hey, might not be. Player drops down below, and that is, in fact, going to be an elimination for his partner. Still one player remains inside, but I'm a little bit worried his health is dwindling down. But no matter. Builds are going fourth, and his partner is tearing it up. I believe that's going to be 2 or 3 eliminations for him to kind of start chipping away. That's going to be 2 eliminations. So now they're chipping away at that deficit. Obviously 20-25, but Greasy a little bit fruitful at this point. But one thing, though, when you think about Ryze and their location, they're located pretty close to the floating island. So they're going to have a lot of competition over there. But, man, already look at the damage they're taking, Landon. Luckily, he finds bandages, but not.
It's getting a little bit close, though.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this is the sacrifices that you have to make. You have to be getting down to those low HP. You have to be challenging things that are uncharacteristic. Getting out of your comfort zone is the way that you bring this one back. Granted, Greasy Grove, not the most uncomforting place, but at least they're doing some type of damage. They're taking down a few squads here and there, which is a good sign if you are a fan of UNLV. However, as we take a quick look at the Ryze Nation boys, it looks like Scrupools, so a nice little deke shot to take a little bit of those shields off, but as they advance in towards Salty Springs, it is not going to be a pleasant place after they start to make their run through.
You know, where they drop, I wouldn't consider a hot drop at this point. However, they're going to find more people than Greasy, especially off of the rotation too. So with that being said, they're probably going to keep, I would say, matching eliminations pound for pound from the UNLV boys, and this is pretty much over before it started as they push out into Fatal. Hey, the cornfield, this could be a potential. They could be, in fact, chilling in the cornfield the entire time. But
they do spot someone.
They do spot a person just up ahead, and they're going to go ahead and go to quick work, throwing out those grenades as well as the smoke bombs, or stink bombs, rather. And Scrupools will be able to pick up this elimination. Player doesn't build the wall. There he goes. Wisely does so. I believe he's going to have free reign to it. And the edit comes in, knocks a shot off.
I love that because what he does is he tries to initiate that build. He's willing to take the shot in order to have that one wall be his so that he can edit it and challenge whenever he likes. It's such a smart play coming in from Scrupools. Is one of the many that have dictated why they had so many eliminations in the lead that they have now heading in toward this map number 2. But eliminations like that, Taylor, continue to be a sad violin toward the boys on UNLV because it's just not looking likely anymore. However, a Shadowstone in toward Tilted Towers, I got to say, I like it. I like it. I totally understand this from Lily.
Yeah, not bad at all. Player just up ahead. I thought there was a player that kind of passed to his left. I guess not, unfortunately. But, you know, Tilted was going to be a hot drop. Unfortunately, they didn't land there, but not a bad rotation. They do pick up a couple of eliminations and having a little bit of trouble getting up that hill, but he does manage to do it, and there it is. So that's going to be at least one knock. Player down below trying to kind of solo squad this. His teammate coming up to help.
Oh,
nice shot.
Yeah, great reaction.
Shot. 5 eliminations, not bad, but of course the damage in that first round is going to be a lot to recover from, especially when you have the Ryze boys picking up eliminations themselves and not slowing down. They're already traveling through, and they're going to be hitting up Salty Springs. And, of course, you might find a couple people there, especially down in Divot as well. So I couldn't imagine they're not going to find any more players.
Yeah. And, you know, granted, we didn't get to see UNLV's first game, so
right.
maybe they hot dropped. The fact that they have one elimination leads me to believe they probably had like a really slow start for, you know, whatever reason, whatever location they might have gone to. But that's the most worrisome part about this, is Dirtburger makes a little bit of appearance here on the Sunday Showdown, but not for long, only a few seconds. That's how you like to call fast food. But when it comes down to this particular thing, the only positive that UNLV could be looking at as, hey, we're hitting a lot of different locations, and that's great for us, but that's exactly what Ryze is doing as well. That'd be the only positive that they could carry on at this moment, is if they were playing, you know, super aggressive, constantly seeing new POIs. However, for Ryze Nation, they're doing the exact same. So that's going to be a pretty unfortunate situation to be in, is that your only positive happens to be another positive for the team that you're facing off against.
I want to talk about Scrupools and what I've been seeing from him. His technique is absolutely on point. You know, I've noticed where players are pushing him, he remains extremely composed in whatever situation that he's put in. And one of the things that he prioritizes overall is getting the high ground. And he starts building up before he even really tries to engage. He'll engage in those long distance, but up close and personal, where most players would tend to, okay, shotgun, SMG, right? Really fast, high pace, and not prioritize building. He prioritizes building over that. And that's a great, really a great trait to see coming out from Scrupools. But the way that he implements his builds, his edits, along with his shots, is on point and on par of that of a professional player, as is to be expected on the organization of Ryze. It's really no wonder why I haven't seen much more of Scrupools at this point, but moving more into competitive, especially going into 2019, which is going to be massive for Fortnite competitive.
$100 million, man.
You know, I got to say, I'm very curious to see how he's going to perform, because a lot of the players, a lot of these professional players, such as Scrupools, who have good techniques, have very good fundamentals, you know, they may not be the biggest of names of streamers, so we don't get to see them until really the competition does happen. So with that being said, they're looking incredibly strong, and I'm excited to see the future of the team of Ryze.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Definitely have a bright future ahead of them, but we'll see whether or not UNLV can try to spoil the party. On screen with Lily right now, she decides to make themselves go toward what would be, I guess, Monsoon. I'm giving that the call out. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Monsoon's pretty cool.
Monsoon's cool.
But it looks as if we can just see off to the southeast and inside of our mini-map, all 4 players joining alongside each other, which, if you are Ryze Nation, granted, that's kind of the strategy that you want to implement. We're seeing UNLV play a lot better when it comes down to Game 2 compared to Game number 1. So at this point, this is kind of, I don't want to say the lazy strategy, but the smarter strategy. This kind of guarantees you the fact that any situations that the other team's going to have, you're going to have those equal opportunities as well. And depending on the weapons, the long-range equipment that you might have, that can be all the difference between who seeks out these eliminations and who gets a lot of that damage.
I know we're watching this currently. Just to give a little bracket update, though, for the viewers at home, of course, you guys can follow the bracket using !bracket in the chat. Optic Baldy and Gunfly have been eliminated. The qualifier team does move forward, and they're going to be going against the LSU boys. Risker and Dummy win their first round against the qualifiers. And, of course, Vicstar and Tinny won their first one against Hay and Blackout. Another qualifier team moves forward as they beat out Sore Frosty, Gank Logan, and the Ryze boys, of course. We're looking to see how this match is going to go down. But Ghost Enzo and Ghost Kayun is going to be playing against FaZe, Thief, and Ghost Aiden.
Can I tell you?
And that's going to be a monumental match.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but can I tell you a quick little fact that I'm very excited to say? That after this is his 3rd week of being in the Sunday Showdown.
Who's that?
Enzo has finally got his first series.
That is true.
It's sad, but it's also great. Hey, if there was a week to do it on, it should be the most recent one. Get that momentum, keep going, keep advancing forward. But good to see from Enzo is that's good. That's a very scary team to be looking at toward the bottom side of the bracket. But of course, the Legion Sunday Showdown is sponsored by Lenovo Legion, a series of gaming desktops, laptops, and cubes with unmatched performance and clean, purpose-built designs available at lenovo.com/Legion. Legion gaming desktops, laptops, and cubes combine a sleek exterior with some furious firepower under the hood. Lenovo Legion, stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. As we get ready to go ahead and advance toward our game here, Taylor, it's looking a little bit slow for UNLV, almost to the point of being mathematically impossible.
And it's not like they had a bad second half either. They're sitting at a total of 8 eliminations, as now it has reached past the threshold of being mathematically impossible. But the UNLV boys, the second game, had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But Ryze, especially Scrupools, man, is he an animal. And
well, I got to say, right from game one, he and Ritual were almost identical when it comes down to elimination. So we only got to see Scrupools' point of view. Ritual, turn on your stream, buddy. We want to see both of you guys go into action.
26 eliminations.
That's
round
crazy.
1. I don't care who you're playing against. Any team is going to be scared of those numbers. 26 eliminations game 1 is absolutely insane.